Welcome, hello everybody, and welcome to my 3DS home screen. And today we're doing Sonic Generations. Yes.
Capture Carter emulator.
No, we're not using emulation, we're using a natural 3DS this time.
This is not spicy.
Basically, Jova, while the Generations emulation on Citra is really good, sometimes there's the occasional slowdown, so just to make sure we have as much of a smooth experience as possible, we'll just use actual hardware.
So this is Sonic Generations on the 3DS, the companion piece to the console one. As you may recall, I actually never got around to playing the 3DS version, but I pretty much do know all I need to know about it. Basically, for those who don't recall, Sonic Generations was lauded as one of the great Sonic 3D games of its time. And of course, as was customary, it came with a DIMS-issued version for the handheld system.
Alright, so cutscene. Alright, the cutscenes are entirely text-based, so Jova, get ready.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, okay, so let's just like we start with Green Hill. So here's already the first two problems I have with this game. One, I don't care much for the art design of this game. I think the game looks ugly, to be honest with you. Don't worry, I'm not expecting it to look as good as the console version, obviously, but I don't know. I think the Rush games look better than this. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the textures look very bleh.
The plastic grass returns.
I don't think it's not so much plastic grass. It's more so that the textures are poor quality. Shirai, go on.
I'll say this, I don't think it's ugly, but I do get what they're going for. Essentially, the Rush graphics in 3D.
Also, Jova.
Make it all the more,
go on.
Make it all the more pop out when you use the stereoscopic 3D. Because, yeah, if there's one thing I'm certain of, this is probably something that looks best when you're using the 3D effects.
Also,
but,
Jova,
may not look the best without them.
Do you notice something familiar about this level layout, by the way, Jova?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we have managed to bring it back from the dead! Sonic 1!
Yes.
Very own level design from Green Hill Zone Act 1.
Yeah, this is the first problem. The developers were lazy about the classic portion of the game, and they made the classic era stages just copy-paste level layouts of the classic games. Come on, really? You couldn't come up with your own original layouts like the console version did?
Possible show of dedication or an over-reliance on nostalgia. You make the call.
Or maybe they didn't have time, I don't know.
I mean, okay.
Go on.
The thing is about this game, I wouldn't call it half-assed. I actually think it's a fair enough handheld version, but it definitely does have its weaknesses.
Alright, so Classic Sonic doesn't talk, so...
Should have been voiced by Jaleel White. That is still a missed opportunity.
or maybe the original Japanese actress who voiced Sonic in the OVA, maybe.
Can she speak English?
Or maybe okay, fine. We can get Martin Burke, maybe. What? Go ahead.
Hey there.
Hey, Tails. So what's up? You wanted me to meet you here, right?
You're early, Sonic. By the way, none of Sonic's other friends are here. Apparently, Tails prepared a birthday party all on his own in this version. Go on.
Of course I am. I'm the fastest thing alive, remember? What? Is there a problem?
Well, yeah. We were actually getting ready to throw you a surprise birthday party.
Oh, yeah!
Sorry about that. I mean, thanks for doing this, Tails.
You're welcome. Of course, it would have been better if you came after everyone was here. Yeah, that's their excuse for why they didn't make models for the others.
Yeah, if you'll recall in the console version, the party actually does go through. I can do another lap around the planet and come back if you want.
No, that's okay. I mean, you already found out, so why don't you just sit down and wait?
Yeah, wait for the others to show up. Whoa! That looks good.
Don't start yet, Sonic. You should wait until everyone else gets here.
I don't like waiting. Hey, this one with the ribbon is for me, right?
Well, yeah. You're the birthday boy after all. I wonder what's taking everybody so long. Potentially.
3DS limitations.
Ah.
Whoa!
Sonic, look! And by look, they mean...
Use the stereoscopic 3D.
Oh my god! Oh my god, Sonic! It's a picture of a time eater! And it's coming for... It's coming right for us! Whoa, Sonic!
Tails!
The picture, it's scaring me! I'm getting sucked in!
You should have put a content warning on this, damn it!
Hey, what's going on? Ugh.
Help me, Sonic! Some of these lines are actually taken straight from the console version cutscene, so we'll try to match their timing. Go on, Joe.
Where am I? Where's Tails?
Yeah, as you can see, the cutscenes in this game are made very much on the cheap.
Okay, to give them some credit, some might see these as the evolved versions of the cutscenes from the previous Rush games, which also worked mainly with still models and some pictures here and there because handhelds.
This is our first
3DS
game, right?
Yes.
It was, yes.
I do not
give them credit. I'll give them credit. The cutscenes wise, I get what they were going for. Like,
visual
I don't
novel.
think it's terrible given where they're coming from on here and there. Like, it wouldn't be until the Lost World 3DS game where we could actually even get full-bred cutscenes.
So
yeah, here is an unfortunate downgrade. The modern Sonic stages are all in 2D as well.
Not just that. Basically, classic Sonic is of course emulating classic Sonic. Modern Sonic is emulating Sonic Rush gameplay. The big issue that I mostly have, I don't have a problem with the Rush gameplay being a thing. I would have preferred something 3D like in Lost World 3DS, but okay, fine. Sonic Rush, fine. My bigger problem is that really, Sonic Generations 3DS, the handheld version is just again using most of the same levels. Wouldn't it make more sense, like Johnny said in his review, wouldn't it make more sense for the handheld version to pay homage to the handheld Sonic games? And guess what? One of the levels.
Everyone's biggest problem with this game.
And guess what? One of the levels does, because Water Palace from Rush is in here, which begs the question.
Yeah, so they can do it, they just don't.
It's weird. Like, I think like it would have made a lot more sense.
If we had done like Bridge Zone or Forest Zone.
Yeah, I would like to see a speedier. Yeah, it would be fun to see a rush, like a more rushed take on Bridge Zone. Why not? That would be cool.
I mean, a lot of the handheld games are, from divs. Like, I don't understand why they couldn't pull from the library that they have.
Yeah.
Now, as Pedro just showed, the game does still have some cool set pieces that, again, look cooler if you're using 3D, but I digress. So, I'll give them credit.
Thanks, Sonic.
They did try.
I thought I was dead for sure. Floating without a body in a dark void. I'm gonna have nightmares about this for a week. Oh, so Tails became a heart.
There's cute music in the background while Tails is traumatized.
So Tails became a heartless, apparently. Go on.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. God forbid something even worse like that happens in the future. Is it just me, or does this place seem awfully familiar?
Not really to me. But it looks like something sucked all the life and color out of this place. Really strange, huh?
Okay, that's a bit different. In the console version, I'm pretty sure Tails was
go ahead,
the
Jova.
fact that, yeah, we've been here before. No stranger than rescuing genies in magic books or saving aliens in an interstellar amusement park. First things first, let's figure out what this place is.
Also,
continuity.
Yeah.
In the console version, Tails is also like, I don't recognize this place.
Yeah. Hey Sonic, this is it looks dark. Basically, the script, the English script of this version is a bit more faithful to the original Japanese script, but not much. There's still some lines that are taken straight from the Potek and Graph version of the script. Go ahead.
I'll be back soon, which honestly isn't a problem. Generations.
Oh no, I actually prefer it that way, so I'm fine with that.
Hi.
Wow, you weren't kidding when you said soon. No, remember, Shiro, but Classic Sonic doesn't speak.
I was Tails.
Well, actually, I'm Tails, so sorry. Weren't you kidding when you said... Wow, you weren't kidding when you said soon.
Also, what do you mean this place doesn't look familiar?
Also, what's up with Classic Sonic's mouth? Seriously, what's up with Classic Sonic's mouth? Look at that.
He's trying to catch flies.
I thought you were leaving, and I'm clapping for some reason. Like, what?
Yay.
Yay,
yeah,
friendship!
Yeah, Sonic's confused with as well. You can now play this stage's special stage. New stage gates have been opened, Casino Night and Mushroom Hill. You receive the mission. You can select it under missions. We'll talk about the missions in the last part. Go on, Sherry.
So Tails finally meets Classic. I just say it's a Tails finally meets Classic Sonic, huh?
Yep.
Also, yay, Sonic Heroes is one-player menu.
Menu theme, yay!
Well, remember the options menu in the console version also has a Sonic Heroes theme.
Yeah.
Okay. So, guess what, guys? First off, I have two bits of good news. First off, the special stage, while the special stage of Sonic Generations 3DS is based on the Sonic Heroes one, it controls infinitely better, and as a result, it's far more fun. And here's a piece of good news. Oh my god, Jova. A Sonic game made by Dimps where getting into the special stage is not a complete hassle.
I know, right?
Oh my god!
Beautiful.
How do you do it?
You just select.
You just select it from the menu. That's it.
You don't have to
So,
like.
what's the bad news?
There is no bad.
There are no.
Regarding the special stages, Shiroi, I have no bad news whatsoever.
Yeah.
Oh, I
yeah,
thought you
no,
said
I
you
mean-
had two pieces of good news and a piece of bad news.
No, I only said.
No.
Okay,
Like,
okay, never mind then.
No, believe it or not, there is no cats. These are actually good special stages. They challenge you properly, they have a fine enough control scheme, and yes, getting to them is not a nightmare either.
I think Cash remixed this thing.
Yes.
It's a good remix. It's also the bonus stage theme, not the special stage theme, but it's the better of the two themes anyway. So thank you.
Oh
There you go.
yeah, that's right. Heroes Emerald's theme is a bit different, but yeah.
Basically, the special stages are fairly easy, except for maybe stage 4. Like, basically, it's one of those cases where you have to. Well, I'll explain when we get through it, but most of them are pretty easy.
Sadly, no victory music. Well, none of the victory music that plays after you got your grade in the console version. Don't know why they left that out.
Don't know either. I guess both teams
Yeah,
were not
again,
consulting
though,
with each other.
Seriously though, all you gotta do is just complete the first 2 acts, and boom, the special stage is available.
Now, if only we could have had that in Sonic Lost World for DS as well.
Now, I'm pleased to announce that for the original stages of the handheld version, they each get their own special remixes, both classic and modern.
Yes.
And yes, they're pretty much all bots.
Yes, like the console version, the classic remixes are done by Naofumi Ataya, whereas Jun makes the modern mixes.
If I recall correctly, I think the level design for this one is actually more original than
No.
just the classic one.
No, look at it. See? It's copy-pasted again. Green Hill, Casino Night, and Mushroom Hill all just draw the exact same level layouts. You can actually, you can even see side-by-side comparisons on YouTube and everything.
Okay. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, since this was before Nostalgia Overload came in. They wanted to include this as a cool homage that people would go, oh wow, look at this, it's just like in the past, because time travel and all of that.
I guess it's one of those things where Colors already did this with its Sonic Simulator stages. So I feel like by this point, I mean, not to mention, I feel like it makes this kind of really a sticking point compared to the console version. Go on.
Yeah. I can agree there. I'm just gonna give them the benefit of the doubt on this game that they wanted to add this as a cool little awesome Easter egg that people would find and be able to go, oh, this makes sense because, we're going back in time, back to when classic Sonic did this stuff. So, yeah, I guess it makes sense it would be the same for him, whereas it would be different for modern Sonic.
Yeah, that's the basic gist of it. Forgot the first 3 classic Sonic stages, you're just playing the original stages. Don't get me wrong, what the hell happened there? And it's one of those things where, and as for the physics are fine. In fact, the physics are slightly better than classic Sonic in the console version. However, they still do have some issues, as I'm about to demonstrate now. The momentum doesn't really carry as much as it does in the classic games. Hell, in Sonic Advance 1, I would have been able to do this much easier. So yeah, like I don't know. I mean, Dimps got this shit right in Advance 1. I have no fucking clue what happened in between those years.
Boing.
Anyway, let's continue. Yeah, that's basically it. It's Casino Night.
This stage is always kind of add to me, even in the original one. It's like, you exist.
I think that's one of the best ways to describe this game as a whole. It was basically, essentially, okay, you don't have the console version, here's a handheld version. Like, if you have both versions, obviously you're probably going to be playing the console and more. But hey, this is good for like when you don't have access to your TV or
And guess what?
PC.
But here's what's fun, Joe. But since this game is entirely 3D, there were actually some critics who said that this was the better version of Sonic Generations because we don't want any 3D in Sonic games. Remember, this was back in the early 2010s, so yeah.
So stupid.
I still think the cake really does go to that infamous IGN Sonic Unleashed review. Like, that one's so infamous that IGN, when they walked back their Sonic was never good statement, said, oh, and for good measure, yeah, the guy who made that review,
I know.
he doesn't work at IGN anymore.
Well, that's the thing, Jova. Like, the guy who made that whole Sonic was never good thing, he recently apologized in a video, and I'm like, fuck you. The only reason you're apologizing is because you got hate for it.
It really is hard to believe that Sonic really wasn't a predicament like that compared to how he is now. Thankfully off better. Alright, so, Act 2?
Yes, Act 2. Now, if there's one benefit of Act 2, is that we get to hear the modern mix of Casino Night, which is, in my opinion, a masterclass on how you remake a classic track. Jun Tsunue, this is one of Jun Tsunue's masterpieces.
And
You could hear this in the console version too, but you have to play the pinball minigame.
The pinball minigame, yeah.
Surprisingly, doesn't involve electric guitar on this one.
Well, it wouldn't really fit Casino Night. Casino Night fits much better with an old 1950s big band style.
Well, I mean, it's cool to see that Jun Tsunue can work with that genre.
Oh, he can. See, the thing about Jun is that he's good when he's working with music using instruments and not limiting himself to chip tunes. That's the thing with Jun.
It's kind of like the opposite of Tommy and Tony.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yes.
Remind me. Jun Tsunue, he did like the soundtrack of Generations as a whole, right?
Yes, he is a sound director.
Including the classic remixes?
No. The classic remixes were handled by Nafumi Ataya, the composer of Sonic CD. Yeah, all of them. Basically, Jun had a very interesting philosophy for the music of Sonic Generations. If you watch, I don't know if you know, because I got the collector's edition back in the day, and it comes with some behind the scenes videos. You can watch them on YouTube because people put them there. Basically, Jun's idea when sound directing this game was something that I think was a fantastic decision, which was, okay, when it comes to the classic Sonic, the stages that come from the classic era, the classic mixes are going to be more faithful to the original versions, whereas the modern mixes, in this case the modern mix of Casino Night, is going to sound quite different compared to the original, which is the case with this one, for example, right? And the vice versa also applies. For the stages that originated from modern Sonic's games, the modern mixes are going to be more faithful to the original modern games, whereas the classic remixes are going to be the ones who are going to try something different, which is why we see Cash doing that mix of City Escape that is a bit more auto-tune in comparison to Tony and Ted's version.
Still a good version.
So basically, So basically, in this case, we're playing the modern. It's a modern mix of a classic Sonic track, meaning we put a new spin on it. In this case, big band. Okay, this part here. Okay, this is hard to explain via words, but the physics in here don't work quite as well as as they do in the modern in the console version. Like, I'm trying my best to allow the momentum to carry me, but there's something off of the momentum in this version.
Is it one of those cases where, okay, you press a certain direction to get going, but the game for some reason reverses it?
Yes, very good. Thank you. That's basically it.
It doesn't seem like something you should have to have difficulty.
Trust me, Shiro. Trust me, Shiro. In the console version and in Sonic Generations, I have
never any game does that.
It's one of those things where Dimps somewhere along the way really forgot how to do momentum properly. It's weird. It works fine in Rush because in Rush you're not really based on momentum. But for a particular section like that, it can feel really. Again, it's hard to explain through words. Anyway, you're back, Sonic.
Hey there.
Hey, Tails.
We've been here before, haven't we? Ha! I remember this one because I was in this game. The bright neon lights, the big slot machines.
Oh, right. Now I remember. The joke was that Tails didn't remember green.
Yeah.
because
Well,
he wasn't there.
yeah.
Okay.
That's the joke, yeah.
You're right, Tails. This place is giving me a pretty bad case of deja vu. Well, time to find out what's going on here.
You can now play the stage's special stage.
Why can't most Sonic games be like this?
Mm-hmm.
Specifically the special stage stuff.
Yep, basically.
I mean, I don't mind the 50 ring stuff.
Now, the 50 ring stuff is fine, it's just that, I've been traumatized by Dimps' ways of getting into special stages, so...
I will never forgive them for Sonic Advance 2.
It's like, oh my god. I'm already not that big on that game to begin with, but the special stages really, really tick me off, because the special stages themselves are fine, but the way you get... Seriously, just by getting all 7 rings, forgot the level, we should already get the emerald as far as I'm concerned, because that is the true challenge. The special stages are not really that challenging. Go on.
No, you finished.
No, I was pretty much done. Go on.
Oh, I'm honestly a fan of the modern style way that they do it, where you just get them as part of the plot.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're doing in the console version of this. I personally don't mind the special stages can be done well. It's just that a lot of times there's always some kind of issue that is kind of a problem. Go on.
I think I can sum it up well. The issue with a lot of special stages is that it feels like they need to make them unnecessarily difficult with a complete new gameplay style, which can blindside you, since, you don't always get into special stages that often, so you don't get to practice it as often. So in which case, yeah, it's do this tough task to get into the special stage, and then hope and pray you get the emerald, otherwise you gotta do it again, and again,
It's a shame.
and again.
It's a shame because Sonic Advance 2 is actually my favourite soundtrack of the 3.
Oh yeah, well I'm pretty sure everybody.
Some of the most unique stages in the franchise.
Well, yeah, but most people will agree with you there, Drip. So I don't think there's a.
I'll say this though, I'm someone who likes Advance 3 better than Advance 2, and one of the big reasons is just the fact that, yeah, I know chow hunting can be a bit of a task itself, but at least you can get them at your own pace. You don't have to do them in one single run every time, and you're not going so super goddamn fast so that you might easily miss them.
And also, if you miss them, there is a way to tell how far you need to go into a level to actually start looking for the one you're missing.
Mm-hmm.
That too, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, tune in next time where we continue.
See you then.
Yeah.
See ya.